We love to talk about the healing journey. We love to talk about self-love, self-care, and boundaries. You know, we'll go to therapy. We'll do all of the things, but still give our body to men who disrespect us. But still got a sneaky link and still running back to that ex who really don't give a damn. Let's get into it. Hi, my loves, it's Jeray, my lady girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, y'all, don't tussle with me, y'all. Do not tussle with me. I am just here with some real talk, some real conversations, because we got to get into the things. Before I hop into my commentary, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video. Go ahead and hit the likey like for your girl. Okay, hit the like button for your girl. So that way we can kind of get ourselves back out there into that little algorithm, okay? So I was literally just here chilling, minding my business like I always do. And, you know, I was really just thinking about like how I'm just changing in my mindset, my discipline, and what that actually looks like. So I wanted to come and talk about sexual discipline, okay? Because I know a lot of times when we think about discipline, we think about consistency in the gym, we think about showing up in our real life, in our world, but we don't really talk about like our sexual discipline. Now, men, I want to make a separate video for y'all because people in general, I want to say women in general, like we love a man who has sexual discipline, okay? I feel like that cannot be overstated. Like when a man is choosy, when a man understands his own value, okay, when it's not community pain and he has a sort of like sense of worth and value on himself to the point where he's not just out sharing his I mean, that's sexually disciplined, girl, that man a washer and dryer. That's all I'm gonna say, washer and dryer. This video is gonna be tailored towards the girlies because naturally I'm gonna start with you, sister. Let's start with you, okay? Now, y'all, let's just hop into it. I wanna get into the contradiction between healing and sexual choices. Y'all, I am not a saint or a sinner, although I do like to play a little game. I call it Sister Mary Clarence because what are you talking about? I'm a virgin. Okay, if I didn't have these kids, you wouldn't be able to tell. But, you know, I really understand that we live in a world, in a society where sexual freedom and liberation is celebrated, y'all. We understand the lyrics of body, yada, yada, and, you know, I get to choose who I want to be with. My body is a temple. My body is to be worshipped, and I can get any man. I'm over here playing Nintendo Switch while you're giving me head, in the words of Megan P. And although I do subscribe to this whole woman empowerment movement by way of, you know, being sexually fluid and liberal, I think that that can be oversaturated, and also too it can be confused with sexual liberation and sexual autonomy, sexual freedom, fluidity, however you want to put it, to also too being in a healing space. A lot of y'all are like conflating the two. I'm showing up as this free liberal woman and I can choose who I want to. I can get a pooch who I want to, which you can, but you got to do it in a way that's showing up that you are healed and whole. A lot of us are embarking on this freedom, sexual fluidity journey when we're just doing it as a coping mechanism, so that way we don't have to spend time alone. We don't have to spend time with our ugly parts. We can just hop into bed with someone new who doesn't really know how we look when we're about to crash out. Okay, so it's easier to get with someone new versus that older lover person, whoever, who understands, girl, that girl is kind of tweaky. So if you find yourself somewhere in between there, girl, it's okay. I'm here to hold your hand, girl. I've been there before. We all have, you know what I mean? And just, you know, just to be quite honest, I don't want this video to come off as preachy and anything like this, because if you're here and you've been subscribed, you know that's not how I give it up. Okay, I don't give it up like that. I just like to think and talk about things that can change your mindset sometimes, right? Because as I'm growing and learning, I'm here right before y'all doing the same thing and doing the work. So healing is a journey that's, you know, not linear, right? Nothing about a healing journey is linear, and nothing about a healing journey is a one size fits all. But I do think that, again, a lot of women have conflated sexual freedom with autonomy of their own body. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we make choices in our life and we don't even know why we're choosing the things that we want, right? I'll give you an example. I may choose when I wake up in the morning to go and eat some Stroop waffles, a bowl of cereal, or just something sugary, right? Or let's just say espresso, because that's something that I do have in the morning. I wake up, I make my espresso, and then I get my day started. I'm choosing to engage or have this stimulant, which is caffeine, because in my mind, it makes me, move faster, move clearer, and I have a whole day ahead of me. Now, I'm choosing this because of my environment. This is my choice first thing in the AM. Now, if I was choosing a better version of myself, maybe I wouldn't grab for my coffee first thing and I would start my day off with 8 ounces of water or tea even perhaps. But because of my situation, of me having to get up and get humping and jumping in the morning, I'm choosing something that is maybe not the best for me. A lot of times we choose things because of our circumstances, not because it's what's best for me. If I'm a person who is 500 pounds and I am choosing a meal, I'm going to choose something that's unhealthy because my mind is programmed to want carbs, my mind is programmed to want sugars, my mind is programmed to want saturated fats. So even though I'm making the choice, I'm still out of control of my mind and I'm out of control of my body. Therefore, all of my choices at this point is really, really coming from me. I'm talking about the highest version of myself, not myself that's been conditioned to eat unhealthily, to whatever. It's the same, it's true when you're talking about and being in a relationship with men. Okay? How you have been in relationship with men will show and reflect the relationship that you have with yourself. Let me reword it. The relationships that you have with men, is going to give you an indication of the relationship that you have with yourself. And so if you have a situation where you are dealing with a man who doesn't really feed you, he doesn't really grow you, he doesn't really move you, perhaps you don't even like him for real, but you enjoy the company, you enjoy the kiki, you enjoy a little date night, and maybe you enjoy a little piece of pain every now and then. Okay, so what you're telling yourself is, I don't have to get the whole thing, I'm just okay with a little bit. And that, my friends, is half-assing, all right? Anything about me, I hate a half-ass bitch, okay? Half-ass nigga. Use your whole ass when it comes to me every single time, myself included. I use my whole ass when it comes to me. Not all the time, because I half-ass and pussy pop sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? Because let's just be for real. Every day is not going to be the same. But the same can be true in your relationships. So I'm just asking you to think about the choices that you're making when you are engaging in sex and when you are engaging in casually dating and you are engaging in just spending your time in general. Let's just take sex out of it. When you have somebody in your energy, you best believe they better be bringing you up and not pulling you down. Okay? Because why are you still in communication with a man who you feel drained after talking to? Why do you are still in relationship or communication with a man who can only see you at nighttime, who can only come through and do a little 1-2 and drop off a piece of peen, but he can't see you any other time? Why are you still doing that? What are some of the things that you are telling yourself to make it right, rationalizing it, whether it's, oh, that's just my friend, but even if that was your friend, and say, take the sex part out of it, would that person really be somebody who's your real homegirl, or is it just a little somebody you're friendly with? That's the distinction, okay? It's a lot of people who are not our friends, we're just friendly with them, all right? You play that person in a completely different role. Every time that you lay with somebody who does not value who you truly are, you are devaluing yourself. You are not honoring yourself. And if you are on a healing journey, you are literally still inviting in the energy that keep you stuck in those cycles, okay? And I understand that we're all learning and growing from different things. Some people have childhood trauma from relationships, narcissistic abuse, wherever you fall on the spectrum. You cannot align yourself or be in relationship with somebody who is reinforcing the things that you are trying to get away from, okay? The same is true in relationships. If you are trying to cut back alcohol, you cannot be around your friend who like to drink the T-Pain, aka Taylor's Port, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It might just have to give girl, I holler at you on FaceTime. You know what I mean? Or maybe that might even be too much. I need to take a step back because my temptation is too high. So the same is true with a man. You can't be around a man, especially not involved in a physical way, with a man who does not appreciate and does not value, and sometimes don't even see you and your own value, worth, and beauty. Okay? Because we love to talk about sex in a casual way. And I'm not above a casual hookup. It just has to be done with a whole different way, which is a whole nother conversation. We could talk about it if you want to. Drop down in the comments, girl. Okay, because you got to protect yourself. And more than prophylactic. I'm talking for real. Spiritually. We love to just talk about sex is so casual. Sex can be so whatever. It's just about this, that, and the third. Y'all, it's bigger than that. And it's deeper than that. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you, especially if you are a woman, under the sound of my voice, baby, you have your poochie is a portal, honey. Okay? And you bets to be very careful. You know how Dr. Strange used to have that thing and it's going around and he's pulling shit out, girl? Sometimes you must have run and get that portal to the wrong person and you pulling out a damn alien, a black cat. Now you got 10 months of bad luck fucking around with these niggas. Okay, all right, y'all. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to put you on to something, sister. All I'm saying is we have to protect our peace. And sometimes protecting our peace means that we have to protect our pussy. Okay? Because we get too caught up and too emotionally drained. We get too emotionally invested in something or someone who himself is not even aligned, who doesn't even have the mental capacity to even figure out, to be self-aware enough to see if he's coming or going. So why even allow that energy to even enter into your body that you are realigning to your highest self and your highest purpose? He's going to be bringing you right on down. Okay, he's gonna be bringing you right down to the pits of hell with his ass. Let's get into the next point. The power of sexual discipline. It's not about Puritan politics. It's not about being a pick-me. It's not about, abstaining so that way you can seem more valuable to the male gaze. It's not at all where I'm coming from. I know it's a lot of girlies out here that play like that. I am not one of them. I come from a place of self-respect. Okay? I'm coming from a place of self-respect. If you are engaged with somebody who you're intimate with, at least have them be equally yoked. I know a lot of times we talk about that in a financial way. Oh, I make $100,000. I can't fuck with nobody who make 30. Listen, whatever you do, that's your business, girl. I'm not here to even judge that. But people, when you talk about having someone who is yoked with you, who is equal to you, who it can bring something to the table, it has to be in a spiritual way as well. He has to have the same amount of emotional intelligence or more. He has to have the same amount of spiritual awareness or more in order to be able to be in alignment with you. Okay? And that's just as simple as if I'm reading a Shakespeare book or whatever. I'm reading a Shakespeare play rather. And, he lacks literacy. He can't even read a Cat in the Hat. The fuck are we doing? What are we talking about? We can't even really relate on and maybe there is a lot of physical chemistry. Okay? Maybe there is a lot of physical chemistry because let's just keep it for real. A lot of us is out here dating who can't even read. Let's be clear. Illiteracy is a thing, bitch. Okay? Make that read something. But I like him. He attractive. Okay, he got the coin. He coined up. He pinged up. Okay, it's sitting heavy in them gray sweatpants, and he got a couple dollars. But he lacks any emotional intelligence. He can't even understand and comprehend a basic conversation, or how you feel. He can't even interpret how you feel, what you're thinking. Y'all can't even have a conversation. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. It is a no-go. And the reason why is not because of, I'm, shaming him and, his situation. It's because you guys are not equally yoked. If you know that you are a woman and a being who requires a certain level of emotional intimacy, then why would you even pair yourself or be with someone who can't provide that for you? When you do that, what you're telling your mind is, you don't really even want that. Or it could also mean you're not deserving of that and you better hold on and get this while you can. Settling. Who's doing that at this big age? Who's doing that in 2025? Not us. Not us. Drop it in the comment. Not us. Period. Drop down in the comments. Not us. Okay? That's the new version. Not like us, bitch. Not us. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was never the type of person to I never really had like a sneaky link. I never really had like that one ex that you keep running back to, because I feel like, girl, once the door is closed, don't turn, please don't turn the page. Bobby Valentino, girl, once that page is turned, I'm never the type to circle back. A nigga can never say they double backed on me. I'm sorry. But what I can say is because I was still attracting those type of energies, it wasn't the same person. It was the same type of person in a different form. I was still attracting those same toxic, okay, just a new name, new do-rag, okay, and new bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So don't get caught up in that cycle. Okay, well, I'm going not deal with him, but you still working on yourself and you're still attracting the same type of people. It literally works in cycles, girl. And sometimes you just got to know that you got to maybe put that poochie on the shelf. Okay, let her sit up there and marinate for a second for a real nigga to come by. And not even just sitting here waiting for, again, being so man-centered, but you also too have to be in position to be working on yourself. And so that way, because you've increased your own intuition, if you've increased your own discernment, to know it's time to get that poochie off the shelf. Okay, parent. Also too, like, we live in this world and society where women, we're kind of trained to feel less valuable or less worthy when we aren't paired, when we aren't in relationship with a man. And I'm here to tell you, girl, that's not real. That's a patriarchal societal norm that you don't even have to subscribe to, for real. Honestly, you don't. Like, a lot of women are not even in control of their sexual choices. They're just deciding to settle because they would much rather have a man. They much rather have a piece of a man. They would much rather have a broken man. They would much rather have a man who's going upside their head or whatever the case versus not having none. They would much rather settle for a man who they don't even want to have, who want to be in a relationship with, than to be seen as a woman who cannot get a man. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a second. It's better to have a piece of a man than to have no man at all. And what I'm saying to you is, it's better to do the healing work for real and be a single woman who is thriving, healthy, growing, learning, understands her value and worth, and can show up in a full version that's connected to her higher self. That's the woman that's winning. And this is what I mean. Society puts on all of these pressures for women to be paired with a man. Even if that man ain't shit, girl. Not us. I want to know what y'all think. Like, do you think that women are actually in control of their sexual choices, or are they really just conditioned to be programmed to settle with a man? I want to know, because I don't want to be projecting onto how I feel and think. I want to know what y'all think. Last point I want to get into is the real meaning of healing, okay? And healing is going to look different for everyone. Like I said earlier, healing isn't just about therapy and journaling or self-care, okay? It's about action. If you want different, you have to move different. And sometimes that means saying no to men who are not in alignment with you, or even saying no to men who aren't in alignment with the version of yourself who you want to be, the woman who you are becoming, okay? And a lot of times women get caught up in the cycle of FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? Like, I know that there's been, I want to say, two interactions that I had with somebody, and my friend was like, oh my gosh, like, you didn't even, like, that's over with, or whatever the case. And I was just like, yeah. And it's like, well, what happened? What's the tea? It's like, sister, there is no tea. There is no tea. It wasn't no big blow up. It wasn't anything like this. It's just that I could recognize that at phase B, that you are not somebody who I could go for real with. You are not somebody who I can go the long distance with. And there's no issue, there's no beef, there was no like, oh, he did this and this. It was just like, I can recognize as the woman who I am that this does not align with me. And so therefore I think this is the end of our connection. No beef, no issue. It's just, I'm not. But I remember that there was a time when I had a fear of missing out. And what I mean is, like, oh my gosh, well, what if he is, and what if he could, and what if I'm tripping, and what if, it was just this one moment, what if this, da 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 da, and then you hold on to all of these ideas and notions that I'm putting in my own mind, because who the fuck knows? I don't even know this man. You get what I'm saying? But I done gas myself up to fear of missing out of this grand opportunity, which, when is a man ever really a grand opportunity? But you get what I'm saying? Also, and I'm gonna tell y'all this too, that is also a sign of scarcity mindset, right? It's like, girl, there's a plethora of suitors for me. Why even stop here if I feel like it's not even aligned? Okay, let's normalize walking away and getting out of situations after the first red flag. You don't even need an explanation, and you don't have to try and people mess up or whatever the case. And also, this is why your discernment and intuition have to come in, because you don't want to be crazy and rigid and strict. Well, I am strict. I am strict. I was strict before it became a thing. Okay, so. But let's normalize walking away from situations before it's a blow up, before it even gets ugly. You know what? I've seen enough. Yeah, you know, I'm going to get off here. This is my exit. Thank you so much. Thank you for your services, in the words of Shawnee O'Neal. That's okay, girl. That's a part of growing, okay? This is what, you know, healing looks like for me. Because there was a time when I could not verbalize that, where I felt like, oh, well, nothing really happened too crazy. It don't have to be too crazy. It can be just enough for me to see, I'm cool, and that's enough. So if you are a woman who wants peace, get away from anything that's chaotic, especially in a relationship, because when you are in a relationship, you are your most vulnerable with your partner. You don't want to be at odds or feel you have to protect yourself. So in those instances, recognize them and get away immediately. It's okay, you know? And again, healing is going to look different for everyone. You have to recognize, though, what you're doing. If you are going on a detox, right? Shout out to everybody who asked me about my detox, y'all. I did a 7-day detox. I'm hyped, girl. I'm feeling the difference. The scale didn't move much, but I'm feeling the difference, which is okay for me. You can't say that I am detoxing from eating meat from this week or whatever because I want a healthier body, but then you go out and then it's like, well, I'm detoxing and I'm only eating fruits and vegetables, but I'm drinking hookah, or I'm smoking hookah and you know, doing a whole bunch of other shit that's counteracting my detox. No, it's not about what I'm actually consuming as far as eating, but it's all on the same plane. You know, like I can't say that I want to, you know, have a clean house and I want to get better with that, but then I'm, you know, not maintaining myself or not picking up the fucking diapers that's laying around. You know, you have to do things that are in alignment and on the same scope and level of what your overall goal is. Period, and a point blank. You can't say that you're a woman who's aligning and wanting peace and doing all, you know, turning a new leaf, but you are entertaining men in relationships who bring doubt, who bring chaos, who bring a whole bunch of bullshit. So which one is this, sis? I already know this might ruffle some feathers, but I'm saying this with love, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Not on my watch. Are we really truly wanting to heal, or are we going for the aesthetic of a girl who is healing? I'm okay, baby. Are you okay? As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.